Hello. I'm not actually expecting anyone to view this. I just didn't want to record a video separately and upload it. Hi. Let me mute my notification. Um, Happy spooky season. I start spooky season on September 1st, so I've already been in spooky season for a while, but now it's extra spooky because October begins tomorrow, which is exciting. Yeah, a lot has been going on. I've moved twice since I last uploaded a video. A lot of troubling things, support from really good people, coping, discovering, myself and getting used to living on my own and understanding who I was and being okay with who I was. And I think I'm finally like in a really decent place. And I've also embraced art again, which I had actually stopped doing for a while. I stopped doing art for a few years. And then I started back in 2020. Oddly enough, at the end, yeah, towards the end of 2020, I started drawing again, doing a daily drawing challenge in November. I've since broken away from doing daily. Now I kind of do whenever. And I also did do a little backtracking where I was feeling guilty about drawing, like feeling like I should be doing more productive things or what's the meaning of it. And now I'm starting to think, oh, you need to, one, keep your skills up. Otherwise, you'll be frustrated when you want to draw. So I need to draw a lot more. And I also wanted to go ahead and frame some of the pieces that I wanted to keep. So I've started that process. You can see some frames. This is my I was at a doing a virtual party, and we had hats versus non-hats for teams, and I was on hats with my spooky hat here. So that's why it's off to the side. I was just doing that. These are some art pieces that I've made. Just these three. This one was given to me. I don't know who did the art. I can't read the handwriting. Yeah, I'm not sure. Muriel, I think. But that one was given to me. These three I made, and I've been thinking more so about like channeling all my artistic interests together into one cohesive thing. Thinking about stop motion because I studied animation. I have a degree in animation and hand drawn. So I like hand drawn art. I've always preferred doing that over digital. Granted, I haven't given digital enough time of like practice to get my skills up in that. So I'm probably biased just because I'm used to doing hand drawn. Um, Music, games, particularly like choose your own adventure type stuff. I've also taken my taken taken my first foray into Dungeons and Dragons because I've been curious about it for a long time, but I always thought I would be really bad at it because I feel like I'm not strategic and I'm not good at math. So I was like, you may not want to do this. They may be looking at you like, you don't get it. But met some nice people through work, and they were doing Dungeons and Dragons, and I actually sat in and watched a couple of times, and then I joined in last week, and it was a lot of fun. Even though I didn't fully understand everything, I think I did okay. And it was all like digital. They have the D&D Beyond where you can set up your character for a particular campaign, like the story, and then roll and have your roles within the game. Like you don't have to have dice. I had dice, and I had the role in the game, and I kept forgetting which one I had planned on using. So I just alternated between them, which was probably not the greatest. But like I was doing a druid, and it can keep track of how many spells you've done, and it's pretty nice. It really makes it a lot smoother and more friendly for new people joining. So I would definitely do that way again in the future. I'm supposed to do another one next week, but I don't know if we're going to use that platform. We had a different dungeon master this time than the one who's usually doing it when I have watched it before, but the one who usually DMs was present at this game. So I don't know if we'll be doing it. When he DMs, we usually use Discord, and we have our own dice or method of rolling dice. I have an app for rolling dice, and then we're this time we were actually together, and we were using our computers or paper. I guess I could. I don't know, but that was fun. I like the idea of that whole. Um, there's choices, and you can kind of direct the story. You have a feeling of where it's going to go, but you have the option of directing the story kind of where it ends up going or how it gets there. And that made me think more about like choose your own adventure stories. And I had a story that I had based on a dream that I had had many years ago. I had written down this short story, and I have no idea where I wrote it down at. I have some ideas of what I wrote down. I remember a lot of what I wrote down, so I'm funneling that into a kind of choose your own adventure story. And weirdly, back then it kind of was like stuff. And I feel like that was probably the reason why I had such a struggle with my creativity when I wasn't having any success with my creative endeavors. I feel like I didn't have reasons. And it's fine to be like instinctual, but I think because I didn't have reasons, then I didn't have reasons to do it. Like once it started being like unrewarding because it wasn't seeming to go anywhere, and I started becoming disheartened and thinking that maybe I just wasn't any good at it, and I had all these excuses not to do it. I didn't have enough reasons to do it. And revisiting the story, I'm starting to see things in the pieces that I didn't understand the meaning of back then. Perhaps it was me being more objective now, but I think it's also maybe more so me having lived since then, lived some different things that provided the context. It's almost like foreshadowing. The story was foreshadowing. And I'm starting to see things in the pieces and see how it really parallels some things that happened in my life and they hadn't happened yet when I wrote it. So that's really rewarding in a way to like revisit something that I did before, and now it's more meaningful for me, and because I can see the meaning of it, and like how it's kind of contextualizing things that have occurred in my life, and that's something I hope to do with art was provide people a way of separating out trauma and different life circumstances into something that's a little more palatable into this fictional setting that allows them to face it with a bit of a disconnect. So it's not directly their life, it's outside of their life, but it's adjacent. It reflects bits of their life, and it allows that bit of distance that can make it easier to think through some things and work through some things. So that's what I was hoping is that I could provide, not necessarily therapy, because yeah, I think that's for a professional therapist, but something that's slightly therapeutic or cathartic. So I think that's what I have with this. I'm still kind of figuring out how I want to go about it, but I'm also not forcing that. I just want it bit by bit and then kind of figuring out the format that I want it to be when it's like made outside of Pages. I thought about maybe it being some kind of D&D format, but then I thought about um, paper puppet show. I thought about doing a stop motion thing, but I think that would just be too big an undertaking. I don't want to give myself a reason to not do it. So I do want to be very practical when I'm thinking about how I translate it into another format that I'm translating in a way that is achievable for me within a reasonable amount of time so that I can actually see results and have something to send out into the world and not try to overburden it with needing to be too many things and too grandiose and then it never actually reaches anyone and then the point of it is kind of like I mean I thought it I mean it's got a benefit for me but I think I want to go beyond the benefit for me. I want to lean into the meaning and the meaning that it could possibly have for other people, and understanding that the meaning it could have for other people is a bit reflected in the meaning that it has for me. So I use its impact on me as a barometer for how it might impact other people who've been through similar things. That's it. So I just wanted to kind of get on, and I did want to talk about that. I wanted to talk with the me being away. I wanted to talk about story, me coming back into art, and I don't know, I just wanted to talk a little bit, and I did. Nobody's here to hear it. Somebody will probably hear it someday. I heard it, and I'm somebody. You know? And if you're here, thank you. Welcome to my slice of the internet. Come back anytime. All right. Bye bye.